tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires at night.
Hi, I'm Stacy Reno with Southbridge Community Television. We're here today at the Andrew J. Petro Pool, located on Randolph Street in Southbridge, for the grand reopening ceremony. There are various dignitaries from the state here to represent the grand reopening of the pool, including Town Manager Christopher Clark and Senator Moore, as well as others. So today on this hot summer Monday, July 15th, the pool is full with great hot kids and families, and all ages are here celebrating today for the grand reopening ceremony at the AJ Petro Pool here in Southbridge.
My name is Rick Sullivan, and I'm the Secretary of Energy and Environmental Affairs and a former commissioner at DCR. And on behalf of Governor Patrick, I would like to welcome everybody here for the celebration of the $2 million reconstruction and rededication of DCR's Andrew Petro Memorial Swimming Pool. I'd like to thank everybody from the Southbridge community for their patience during the construction and their continued support of the mission of the DCR and our staffs. This dedication here today really signifies an investment that the Patrick administration has made over the course of his tenure since 2007 of reinvesting in the community assets across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that are important in the communities where they live. They very much define the quality of life in the communities, certainly here in Southbridge and across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This pool is really one of the few aquatic recreational opportunities that many kids and families in Southbridge have in order to be able to learn how to swim, come and cool off on obviously a very hot day, and just have a recreational opportunity that would not be here but for the investment that the Governor Patrick and the legislature and the citizens of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts make in the individual communities where these pools are. I started my government career service as a lifeguard in the pool in my community, so I know the importance to the kids when they come in and cool off. They meet, they gather, and in many cases it is really the only vacation opportunity that the families surrounding these pools have. So it is not just a swimming pool. It's a recreational opportunity, but it's a place to come and gather and recreate, and really very much defines the quality of life here in the town of Southbridge. So without any further ado, I would like to certainly welcome the family, and we have many of the family, and they're going to speak later, some of whom were at the original dedication, I understand, George. But first I would like to introduce the man who is steward of not only all of our pools across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the some 450,000 acres that makes up DCR, but invests in the recreational opportunities across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the DCR Commissioner, Jack Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you also for your leadership and dedication to our agency's mission. As the Secretary mentioned, prior to him taking over as Secretary, he spent the first 4 years of the Governor's tenure as Commissioner of DCR. He's very, very familiar with our mission, and it was under his leadership that this project actually began. So, Secretary, you are to thank for the progress here and for why we're actually gathered here. This project has taken a little bit of time. It's had its fits, its starts, but on a day like today, it all seems really worth it, doesn't it? If you have a look around and behind us and see the smile on the kid's face, it's fantastic. And I had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Petro. Said that back during the Dukakis administration, actually the governor gave you a choice between a pool and a rink. And I'm glad you took the rink today. I'm sure everybody here is, the pool actually. Thanks also in great part to the governor's initiative and to the leadership of Senator Downing and Representative Moore. This $2 million project is going to provide some great benefits to the citizens of Southbridge and the surrounding communities. For those of you who know, the previous pool that was here was in dire need of repair and was one of the oldest models in the DCR system. And what you see here today really is transferred a great vision into a reality. As you can see, this pool has 3 separate sections. There's a wading pool feature, which we refer to as zero depth entry, which can accommodate small children and for people with disabilities. The second area is a striped area for lap swimming, which is very unique in the DCR system. And the third allows for recreational swimming. In addition, you can see we've made some landscaping improvements with new fencings. And with these new upgrades, the Petro pool is now a far more dynamic facility that provides for a safe, high-quality recreational opportunity for people of all ages. And of course, none of this could have been done without the partnership of the town of Southbridge. We are thankful to the town for your partnership. I'd like to especially thank Town Manager Christopher Clark, who's here with us, for working with our agency to bring this partnership to fruition. And at a time when public budgets are under considerable strain, there's a new model of cooperation here. And the resource sharing rarely represents a positive example of how working together can allow us to achieve mutual goals for the benefits of our residents. USA Pools is a big part of the partnership equation. You'll be hearing from Morris here in a little bit, and we are very, very pleased about this partnership and that USA Pools has come on board to assist in managing. And while many of us didn't have the opportunity to meet Councilor Petro, from all accounts, he was a man who really cared deeply about his community. He fought many times as a member of the town council for issues that mattered most to this community. I hear that he was the first superintendent here at the pool and at the same time was managing Andy Spar across the street. And he worked really, really hard for everything that mattered to this community. And whether or not you agreed with him or disagreed with him, everyone admired the man for his dedication to the people he served. So with this pool facility finally complete, I hope especially to the family that you guys would agree with us that this is a fitting tribute for the man for which this facility is named. And we thank you for being here with us. And finally, I'd like to just say thanks to the men and women of DCR who have worked to make this pool happen today. Gary Briere, Director of Recreation, and John Dwinell, Director of Aquatics. Chris Hickey is here, Evelyn Jimenez, Samantha Overton and Priscilla Geigas from our state parks. Who have I missed? Bill Hickey and Joe and Dan and Coggy and others who work so hard every day and inspire me personally to come and do the work that I do. We've got great partnership great confidence that this partnership is going to continue to grow. It's a model for the state to DCR to emulate across the entire system. So thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jack. Jack referenced the close working relationship and partnership with the town of Southbridge, and nobody better can speak to the importance of this pool, what it means to the community here on the ground and to the families that come here. And I'd like to bring forward the town manager, Christopher Clark.
I do wish to thank people that are gathered here today just in terms of this event. I think it is a nice opportunity to continue the legacy that was started so many years ago. But one of the things I found when I came to this community is it is a nice tight-knit community, but it is a community that is limited in its needs and its abilities in some respects. So having a neighborhood pool and maintaining a neighborhood pool so folks could come out and take advantage of it, I think was really a critical part to us having a good recreation program in the community. And I have to thank so much, I think Gary Briere from the state, who when he came to us and said we wanted to renovate the pool and we'd like to do something different, we'd like to do something unique and have the town partner up. Initially I probably wasn't on board, but I became on board because I saw the need was there. And I just wish to thank the folks in town government. Nothing happens by itself. I think our partners at the state have done an outstanding job, the DCR. I know the senator has been involved from the beginning to make sure that this project went from start to finish. I think the one thing that's nice to see out here is it's a pool that's for families, that it's for everybody in the community. And I think that was important to us to make it a family-friendly site and not just a site for potentially only teenagers. So I think the state did a good job. We asked to be heard. We were heard. And I just wish to thank a couple other people. Ron Plouffe is the recreation director in the community that I think did an outstanding job and was really the feet on the ground to actually get this done on behalf of the administration. And then the Recreation Commission for their support and their diligence in seeing this through, as well as always, the town council and the community. I cannot enter into any contract unless the town council is on board. We had the state come out, the state identify what their concern, what their concept was, and the town council was on board to make sure that we saw this day come to fruition. But as was alluded to earlier, no town has unlimited resources. We had to come up with a mechanism that we could fund the project and make it so it was viable. Viability was important. The town lacked the ability to do that on its own. And we sought a RFP, request for proposals, to partner up and to generate and find a partner to help us. Ron did an excellent amount of legwork to find USA Pools, and USA Pools is a strategic partner for the town, and I think that this is a nice concept to show that the private sector, the public sector, and the state government could all work together for one common purpose. So I would like to introduce Morris Barkley from USA Pools to say a few words on behalf of our partnership with USA.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us. I would tell you that there's an old saying, if you build it, they will come. And that is quite obvious that what we have going here today. I just want to be brief here and let you know that we are very excited about our relationship with the town of Southbridge and also working with the state. And we look forward to many, many more years of a positive relationship. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Morris. And that'll be the speech everybody remembers. So you can imagine that with 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, there are more than 351 great and worthy projects that need to be funded. So it is important that there be a set of priorities and that we stay focused on what those priorities are. And certainly the governor's been very clear about this. But you also have a senator that's here that has been dogged in his support of this pool and the need to make the investment in the infrastructure. And quite frankly, that means investing the dollars out of scarce resources at the state level and bring them back here to Southbridge in this pool. It also meant bringing the resources and supporting the community in the Cops to Kids program. And I would like to thank the police department and particularly the chief for running that program over the last couple of years and having Streeter Point open as an alternative aquatic recreational opportunity for the residents of Southbridge. But at the end of the day in and day out, there's a lot of votes that get taken. And a lot of those votes are difficult because they involve revenues and spending revenues and priorities of those revenues. But it's a day like today that you can appreciate what those revenues do and what those expenditures mean for the quality of life in the community. And there truly has been nobody more focused on that than Senator Moore. And I can relate back to the days at DCR, a number of conversation in his office where this was an absolute priority. He has stayed focused on it. He's taken those tough votes. And today we are here to celebrate the fruits of that labor and the partnership that he has had with Governor Patrick. It's my honor to introduce your senator, Senator Dick Moore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. You know, it's been a tradition since the Weld administration that if the senior elected official at any of these functions dives into the pool, the Secretary of Environmental Affairs has to dive in to rescue him. So I had to promise the Secretary I wouldn't do that today, so that because he's got other places to go and he needs to look neat, and it would take too long to dry his hair out and get him all cleaned up for the next stop. But on behalf of the people of Southbridge, as their senator, I'm certainly pleased to see this day come. It is one that oftentimes when I've been interviewed by media or others, they'll ask, well, you know, whatever you did in the legislature, how did it help the people that you serve? And here we have very physical evidence of the people who have benefited from this investment of about $2 million of state taxpayer resources into this facility, which when it was first opened was a superb memorial to an outstanding public servant, Andrew Petro, who had served on the council, and I think he might have been a selectman, one of the last selectmen too. No, he was right after that, that he had started in service and continued right up to the end, serving this community and the people of this community. But it was also an outstanding facility to serve the needs of this community. And unfortunately, over time, any of these kinds of facilities need to be taken care of, need to be maintained. And the resources of the state have fluctuated with the economy. And it is now, fortunately, in a position that we're able to direct at least some money to maintenance and improvement, in this case, to really make it an even a more useful facility for, not only for kids, but for families to enjoy, and for kids of all ages, really, to enjoy. So it's a great asset for the community. The town has been very supportive of this project, and I know that the department, during the time that we're in construction and closed down, did make that investment in transportation to get the Cops and Kids program and others over to Streeter Point to make sure that there was continued to be a recreational swimming recreation available to the kids in Southbridge, and I think that was certainly a great investment to make. But now it's far better to not have to take that bus ride and be able to just walk down the street and jump into the pool. And this is really an outstanding facility. It's state-of-the-art, one of the best in the state, I think now, certainly one of the newest in the state. And Commissioner Murray, you've only been on the job for a few weeks and you've already got a new pool in Southbridge, so we can't wait to see what you'll do for the rest of the state and during your tenure. But it's certainly a great movement on behalf of the administration. The legislature is happy to support it in this particular venue especially. And it's another addition to a Southbridge revitalization to really continue the movement that the town has been under for the last few years with the new high school movement. We actually work developing through the town's help the new trail system, and this particular facility will be an outstanding addition for the quality of life for the people, particularly for the young people of Southbridge. So I congratulate the department and also the community for this terrific partnership that has developed, and one that we hope will continue to grow in the years ahead. So thank you to the family for lending the name to the pool to continue that tradition of public service, and thank the department for its support of this facility, and good luck to all the kids who use it. Hopefully we'll have a very productive summer. I think it's going to get a lot of use this week if the weather predictions are correct, so we'll probably be having to turn them away and have to make a bigger pool later on. But we'll satisfy this one for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I might take you up on that, go rescue you today. It's a little warm out here. But I did let my lifeguard certificate lapse, so it won't be done correctly. I just wanted, before I pull up the last speaker, I want to thank the management and the staff, particularly the lifeguards that are here, because while the programming that takes place here is always important, doing it safely is paramount. And as we've just saw over the last week or so, an incident in Lowell that the lifeguards performed CPR and made a save, and everything worked the way it's supposed to work. The guards work hard, are well trained. I thank our staff for that. But we also need the kids and the parents and everybody to be following the rules so that it's a safe summer. And they do a great job. So thank the lifeguards and the staff and the training staff in particular for doing a great job. Thank you all. As a final word on today, I think it is most appropriate to bring forward a representative of the family. We are here today not only rededicating this facility, but rededicating the work of Andrew Petro, who was a great public servant. So I'd like to call forward Judy Savieski on behalf of the family to do introductions and close out our ceremony. Judy?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. There's not much I can say that he was a great person. He deserved this pool. I want to thank my Uncle Ozzie for being here, my father's brother, and my Aunt Sandra, my father's sister, and his oldest and dearest friend, George Vassell, and my cousin, Harry Lazo, for being here, and all his friends that were here the first time we dedicated this pool. This pool opened up almost 40 years ago, and this was his life. The only thing he wanted to see was a smile on the kids' faces. That was his biggest dream. he ran the store across the street, and it was like a penny candy store. You know, kids would come in with a quarter and be happy walking out with a bag of candy. If they came in with no money, they still walked out with a bag of candy. And he really loved the kids, and he loved this pool, and I know he's watching right now, and my mother's up there with him this time watching because she was here the first time we dedicated the pool. So all I want to make this short and sweet. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I love you all. I know he loves you all. And enjoy the pool, and hopefully everybody goes swimming. Thank you.
Can you stay and help us cut the ribbon? Yes. Sure. If there's anybody else from the family or friends, come on forward and do some help us cut the ribbon. Speakers, if you could get behind the ribbon. And, you got any kids? Anybody want to help us cut the ribbon? Come on, help us cut the ribbon. Up in here, George.
I can do. I'm trying to live. You're on fire.
And we're back. I want to introduce Recreation Director Ronald Plouffe, who has been working so hard and diligently for such a long time on getting this up and going at the Andrew Petro Pool. So here he is, the man. Ron, how are you?
Hi, Stacy. Great being with you again. We're really excited about today. Today was the day of our grand reopening, and we had several state politicians and representatives here. It was a great event. I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of this particular area that the pool sits on. As mentioned earlier in the grand reopening, Andy Petro, who used to own the market across the street, he was a town council, but shortly after the selectmen board was disbanded and we went to a council form of government. Andy was one gentleman in Southbridge that had one of the neighborhood markets, one of the last neighborhood markets in town. We had several. We had this one here on Randolph Street, owned and operated by Andy Petro. We had one at the Globe section of town that was owned by the Tebow family, which was bought out by the Pomerino family, which is now Big Bunny. We also had one located in the center of town, and that was Simon's Market, which was on Hamilton Street. Then on between Everett Street and Elm Street, there was a little meat market over there, and that was also in Andy. It was Andy LaFleche that owned that market. So we had several small markets in town, and we had two large grocery stores, A&P and First National. They were both located on Main Street just below Notre Dame Church. Now, in this particular area that the pool is on today was known as Gibraltar Field. There were several semi-pro baseball teams that used to play at this field, including the old Polish Tigers. So there's a lot of history in this area of town. Today I'm happy to say that we have a new recreational facility, state-of-the-art, probably the best one in the state of Massachusetts at the moment. And I was happy to be part of the people that put this whole thing together.
Thank you, Ron. It was a fantastic day today. It's a beautiful summer day. The pool is crowded with lots of families, kids, people of all ages enjoying cooling off in this summer heat. And we thank you, Ron, so much for giving us a history of the area. We think it's really important for the citizens to know about the history and where things come about and where we've developed to the point of today with this successful pool that we have going on. So thank you, Ron. Okay, Ron, is there anything else you'd like to talk about that's going on this summer?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. We have several programs that we're going to be instituting. We're now in the present time putting together a list of all those programs. some of which will be swimming lessons. We're looking at a senior program for water aerobics. We're looking at a program where, like on a Friday night, you can come into the pool and we're going to have movies. We have a portable screen that we're going to put on the deep end. You'll be able to be in the pool and watch a movie at the same time. And there's several others too. Once we get that list, we'll be able to provide it to you so you can put it on cable access. Now here at the beginning, near the gate, we have our entranceway. This is where folks come in to pay their daily admission, or if they have a family pass for the season, this is where they check in. The pool is open Monday to Friday from 10 in the morning until 6 at night, Saturday and Sunday and holidays from 12 to 7. Now the admission prices are $4 per day per person, $5 if you're out of the state of Massachusetts. We have a family pack for $60 for the season, and that's for up to 5 people. And if you have 6 in the family, it's an extra $5. We have a single season pass for $30, and for seniors 60 and older, it's $10 for the season.
Thank you, Ron, so much for all of that wonderful, helpful information. And we're hoping that you can join us, that you can come down here to the Andrew Petro Pool and come take a dip, a splash, come sit, maybe one of those Friday night movie nights. That just sounds fabulous. I'm really looking forward to that myself. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Stacy. Why don't we now take a tour of the pool?
That sounds great. Let's do that. Ron, could you please give us a tour of what the pool has to offer here?
Okay. Stacy, here we are. Over our shoulders is the pump house. Within that pump house, there's several computerized systems that controls the level of the water, the pH of the water, all elements involving the water conditions. That system, the filtration system, is all brand new, and that's a good part of the $2 million that they have invested in this pool. And of course the other second most expensive part was the pool itself, because anyone that's been here prior to 5 years or more realizes that this is a completely new pool. Now, just over our shoulders in that concrete area is where they're going to be doing the movies at night. So you'll be able to swim in the pool and watch the movie at the same time. As we move over to my right shoulder, that building is housing the office, the concession stand, and some locker rooms for the lifeguards. The third building is our bathhouse. We have family bathrooms on either end of the building. Then we have men's room on the right, ladies' room on the left, and a mechanical room in the middle, which controls the showers and all the hot water and the shower that the folks use to enter the pool with. Next, we have the roofed over benches so people can sit, be out of the sun, out of the rain on the rainy days, and makes it a little more comfortable for them. Now the pool itself has a zero entry for about 30 feet. And that's where you see all the little kids playing around. We have the mushroom and we have the pop-ups in there. On the far end, there's an ADA ramp with an ADA chair. So if somebody needs assistance to be lowered into the pool, we're able to do that also. Now, on the far end of the pool, we have a lap lane. So if somebody wants to just do laps, they can do them there and be out of everybody's way. Right over my shoulder is the deep end. That's about 5 feet. And then it goes back from there. And it's about 3.5 feet in the middle. And then it just tapers into the zero entry area for the kids.
Thank you, Ron, very much for the tour. It looks really, really great and very refreshing, especially on this hot day. And now I'm ready to jump in.